Thank you, Dean Nichols. I am delighted to share this auspicious day with all of you, our graduates and their families. There are few occasions in life that hold the significance of a college commencement. I have had the privilege of sharing in 14 commencement here at Notre Dame, 3 of them as interim dean and dean. It is certainly a time to make our hearts glad. I suspect there are more than a few parents saying amen to that. I know it is a busy time and you have many things to do this weekend, but let me encourage you to pause. Don't rush this moment. Do something special to mark this day, this incredible milestone in your memory. Perhaps you will light a candle at the grotto, or for the first time, walk up the steps of the main building in the shadow of our Golden Dome. Mark this day and this place because it is certain that this wonderful university has left its mark on you. I would also like to pause to mark a Mendoza College achievement. In April, we were ranked as the #1 undergraduate business school for the 5th year in a row. That is half a decade. This is a remarkable feat that no other undergraduate business school has accomplished. And the most important part of the ranking is that it is a reflection of the spirit of our students and the love and appreciation of their school. As a dean, I am humbled when I read the comments published with the ranking. They show that our students truly have a heart's desire to make a difference in the world. For some schools, Business for Good is a marketing tagline. For the Mendoza College of Business, it is a philosophy that is the foundation to all that we do. Now, at this point in my commencement address last year, I made a joke about the Chicago Cubs. But this year, with their current record, I can think of nothing funny to say. So I will move on to my charge to the graduates. Since 2010, when Mendoza first ranked as the #1 undergraduate business school, we have added a tagline. It's a responsibility. To some, that might seem like throwing a big wet blanket over something we should be bragging about. Don't get me wrong. We certainly welcome the ranking, but it has never been the point for us to use the ranking as a way of saying we've arrived, we're the best. Everyone else can go home. Instead, being recognized as a leader signifies that we have a responsibility to serve our students, our Mendoza and Notre Dame community, and truly a host of global stakeholders whose future depends on the raising up of leaders who understand the power of business when it is directed toward changing society for the better. Leaders who understand the responsibility to serve. Therein lies my charge to you, graduating class of 2014, become servant leaders. Now the leader part is easy to understand. Everyone wants to become a leader. It is the most common marketing pitch there is for colleges, especially graduate business programs. We associate the phrase business leader with power and wealth. CEOs like Donald Trump who get to tell people they're fired. But servant leaders, first and foremost, recognize that whatever resources are given into their hands, the lives of the employees, whatever wealth or assets the company has acquired, the customers and shareholders are not theirs to possess. They are to be stewards, mere stewards, dedicated to a philosophy that says, I am responsible for the lives of those around me. I am responsible for their welfare and that of my customers and stakeholders. I am responsible to the world. There's that word, responsible. Responsibility. It is not a word we usually associate with fun. It is something that we often want to turn away, but the simple word responsible is nothing short of transformational. If you place it at the center of your vision of leadership, servant leadership. What does it mean in practice? Servant leadership is not a new term. Its earliest reference goes back to the biblical passage in Matthew, where Jesus explains to his disciples that the true purpose of his earthly incarnation was to serve, not to be served, to offer himself up as a sacrifice for many. There have been a number of books written bearing the title Servant Leadership. Perhaps most notably, one by a man named Robert Greenleaf, an executive at AT&T for 40 years, who described the servant leader as people-centric and humble, devoted to listening, building consensus, and a broad sense of community. They seek to build trust and use persuasion, rather than to dictate or coerce. They are dedicated to growth of the individual as well as the organization, empowering others, and in doing so, encouraging transparency and accountability. If this is sounding a little lightweight to you, a little too soft to possibly be effective, let me throw out a few company names here: Starbucks, Costco, Southwest Airlines, Whole Foods. These are just a few companies recognized as very high-performing, and as it turns out, they also have CEOs who are committed to practicing servant leadership principles. Servant leadership is not mutually exclusive with company growth and superior results. In fact, research finds just the opposite. Here's another consideration. We recently have heard Pope Francis publicly recognizing the role of business in improving people's welfare in certain areas, while indemnifying the widespread social exclusion that often results. Many news outlets ran headlines about the Pope excoriating capitalism. But take a closer and deeper look, and you find he is urging people away from business as consumerism to transformational vision of business as a force for good. He states, business is, in fact, a vocation, a noble vocation, provided that those engaged in it see themselves challenged by a greater meaning in life. At the Mendoza College, this same message that business is a vocation was stated by our founding dean, the Reverend John Cardinal O'Hara, who stated in an often quoted passage, "The primary function of commerce is service to mankind." You could say that the college was built upon the notions of servant leadership. At this point in my charge is where I need to get personal. I would hope that after 4 years at Notre Dame, 3 years in Mendoza, that none of this sounds new to you. And in fact, I know it does not. Because I've heard your stories, I have seen the projects and initiatives resulting from your determination to make a difference. But you are about to walk across this stage, accept your diploma, and leave this auditorium. In a short amount of time, you will be starting a career, and it won't be long before you are called upon to make leadership decisions. They may be small at first, but nonetheless, someone is going to call on you to exercise authority and make a decision that impacts others. What will you do in that moment? Will you think, now is my time to shine, to show all of these people how smart I am? Or will you think, now is my time to serve, to draw from my faith and values, to use this as an opportunity to build towards something greater than myself? Servant leadership does not require a big executive title. It doesn't require that you command billion-dollar budgets. It only requires an attitude that says, I accept the responsibility to serve. Martin Luther King said, everyone can be great because anyone can serve. Go out and be great. God bless you.